What time do the Grizzlies play tonight?
I hope 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a heavy lifting on the word hope.
That's a good hope.
Hey,
It should be 7.
It
It's
should
in
be.
Houston.
It's 7.
Good. Okay.
It's 7.
I need to go.
7 o'clock.
So I have my Halloween costume.
Okay.
What time do the Grizzlies play tonight? Get my wife.
I hope 7 o'clock. Oh no.
Yeah, Kyra's doing it.
That's a.
It's Kyra's fault. Kyra's messing everything up. But I'm trying to get the wife to do a couple's costume with me, and she just refuses. She hates the idea. So she.
What did you want to do couples wise?
Pokemon.
That's so easy.
I'd be the Pokemon.
Like Ash and.
I'd be the Pokemon, and she'd be a Pokemon trainer. Or we could both be Pokemon.
That's cute.
She was like, no, I'm not doing that. And so now we've got to go. I asked her when I bought mine, like, hey, where's your Halloween costume? What do you want to be? I'm not getting a costume, blah, blah, blah. And she does this every year. It's infuriating. She waits till the weekend before Halloween and decides, you know what? Yeah, I will get a Halloween costume. It's like, yo, lady, come on, man.
This is the first year in a long time. Like maybe our entire adult lives, we don't have a costume. Like we're going to a Halloween party tonight. We've got nothing.
Y'all got costumes from years past. Just wear one of those.
That's probably what we'll do.
Knock it out. What was the song today?
It wasn't a shuffle, so I can't pretend like I played the game, but I can't stop listening to GloRilla's album. So On the Way In was What You Know About Me.
Okay.
Hair. Face.
I listened to it this morning.
Did you like it?
It was all right.
Oh my gosh.
What? I like the variety, and we'll talk about it more on Music Friday, I'm sure. I like the variety of flows. I like the variety of beats. I like the variety and topics of songs. I think
all of the
really
above,
good
yes.
at that. And so, yeah, I don't think it was better than Everything, but this is a good album. It's a solid album. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it great. Meg has a new album.
I listened.
It's a million songs.
Megan Thee Stallion had, what's the Queen song? We Will Rock You. She has a version of that. That's interesting.
There's so much new music out today. I got lost in it this morning. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, October 25th. It's gonna be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, it is a Grizzlies game day. It is a big Grizzlies weekend. Grizzlies on the road in Houston tonight. Then they will have their home opener here at FedEx Forum on Saturday night when they face the Orlando Magic. We will talk all about that. Lang Whitaker will join us to continue the conversation. We'll get into last night's Thursday night football game. The Rams got their receivers back, and suddenly could they be a contender in the NFC West? We'll talk about all that. We'll do our RAGGOWs, our games of the weekend in college football and the NFL, the ones we are most looking forward to this week. We'll end with a little Music Friday. So much new music to go through. It's a Friday. It's a good day. You know what we say. CJ, I literally meant to talk to you. We get in here, we get talking, we get yapping, and then I forget to tell you what we're gonna say. Nickelodeon.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're gonna need, the Forum rocking. We're gonna need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support. When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity and win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have actually hit the over on their win total for the season. Winning number 3. Their total was 2.5.
Hey, listen. If I had told you Vanderbilt was going to hit the over on their win total against Alabama,
yeah,
you guys would have kicked me off the show.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I tried to argue that they were going to be bowl eligible.
And I said that was good. And they still might not be.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday to you. Happy day before the Grizzlies home opener. We had the season opener, of course. We have another game on the road tonight. Then the Grizzlies home opener tomorrow against the Orlando Magic. It's one of those things where, CJ, I was like, God, I miss the Grizzlies. I'm so excited for the comeback. And then it's like, game, another one. And I can't wait because nothing beats the home opener. That's where it finally feels for real, not just watching it on an app. Per se. On the FanDuel TV app, you should download it before you have tonight's game. Save yourself. But it finally feels like a reunion of sorts. Yes, you had the preseason and everything that comes with that, but when we are all congregated tomorrow to watch Grizzlies Magic, that's where it feels for real. But these 6 games in 9 nights, like, who do we need to call? It feels...
You know what it feels like?
It feels personal.
Very feverish.
It does.
Why are we doing this?
Yes. Why are we playing?
This team needs a bit of a break, don't they, to start this season? It'll open up a little bit after these first 6 games, but only a little bit. The first 10 games,
the first half of the year.
You've got 2 back-to-backs in the first 10 games, and you've got the 6 games, 9 days popping off as well with one of those back-to-backs. I don't know. This is a lot happening, boy. I hope y'all are in game shape because this game's coming at you hot, hard, and fast, baby.
I'm not in game shape at all because last night was the beginning of everything where you have Thursday Night Football on between the Rams and the Vikings, which was a game I wanted to watch. In our household, you had a big ACC matchup between Pitt and Syracuse, and it was a tough night for Kyle McCord. Pitt is 7-0. Pitt football.
There is a situation where undefeated Pitt, undefeated SMU, and undefeated Miami gets left out of the ACC championship game because of the tiebreaker. There is another situation where undefeated Oregon, undefeated Indiana, undefeated Penn State, and somebody's getting left out. There's yet another situation where you end up
You're also leaving out Clemson.
Oh, That's who it is. And wait, because
they're not undefeated.
Clemson and Pitt play.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Clemson and Pitt play, and that's how that ends up happening. And that would be the tiebreaker.
So that one has to. Yes, they do play November 16th.
So
there you go.
There's another situation where you get all of these one-loss SEC teams. We're going to get to a point, and I can't wait for this because this is what we need to be doing anyways, where we're going to have not just a conference championship game, but a conference semifinal game. We're going to have conference semifinals and a conference championship game. And then the playoffs. Oh, give it to me.
All of the games. We'll talk a little bit more about some of those scenarios because some big college football games this weekend as it pertains to that. We'll hit those in the RAGGOWs. But then there was also NBA action last night that I was genuinely interested in. We got to see Klay Thompson play for the Dallas Mavericks for the first time for real, and he was good. He had 22 points, 6 of 10 shooting. My household, my Golden State Warriors loving husband, Chris Luther, has been telling me Klay Thompson is over for like 2 years now. And Klay looked right at home with the Mavericks. Luka had a massive game, 28, 10, and 8 in a win over the Spurs. For you, I'm curious, are the Spurs... Like, are there any teams at this point in the season where when they are on, you say, I want to watch that game?
Spurs.
I would almost say the Spurs, but I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast did their like league pass rankability, and he brought up the point, and I agree with it. On the Spurs, the only person I want to watch on the Spurs is Victor Wembanyama. And when Victor Wembanyama does something incredible, those highlights get pushed to you immediately. So I'm never going to miss the alien-like nature of Wemby. Now, granted, when I'm identifying games that I'm most excited to go to here at FedEx Forum, that's one of them because I want to see John Morant try to dunk on Victor Wembanyama. I want to see Wemby in person. Even just watching him warm up is such a novelty, such a sideshow of it all. But when it comes to the actual Spurs, there's not really anybody else that I'm dying to see on the Spurs team.
I don't watch basketball for moments.
I got you.
Right? Like that's not the way I watch any of the sports. That's why I don't get in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see what you do in the red zone. I want to see everything that leads up to you getting there. And so for me, as it pertains to the Spurs, while yes, if Wemby does something freakish, we're going to see it because that's the nature of social media right now. And it's great. The best thing about it, I do want to see what Chris Paul looks like. Harrison Barnes is over there too. Like I want to see what's going on with that. How
Alex Stephon Castle from the rookie watch.
Castle is one of those rookies. Like, oh, he's good. Like he could come in and make immediate impact, and he's probably I do believe he's coming off the bench because Chris Paul is in front of him and he's learning from him. I want to see all of this. So when we start spinning the narrative about the Victor Wembanyama lore, it is, oh yeah, I saw him grow from rookie year to second year with a Hall of Fame point guard to whatever he's going to grow into potentially down the line. So that's why I'm intrigued by the Spurs. I hate that they didn't get that win last night.
I'm intrigued by the Kings. Again, new homes for new people.
Another one, I like DeMar DeRozan.
So do I. USC, fight on forever.
I like the DeRozan trade. They did a really cool thing on their official team Twitter account, or on their Twitter account, social media account, Instagram account, where they had the players signing jerseys. I saw that. And then they stuck rival teams' logos in the jersey pile and just got the players' reaction.
I liked it.
Such a fun team account to follow.
I think it's so funny that you bring that up because my curmudgeon of a husband last night showed that exact video because I'm sick of like setting up players for these videos. I was like, why? Do you hate fun? Like I enjoy.
I don't want to see the same one. If you can be different,
something
with
different.
Yours,
I hadn't seen that one.
A different one. Who did which team account did the it was a WNBA team with the pictures, the old school pictures. Was it the Sun?
We did that.
It was the Mercury.
Devin went around and did that.
The Mercury.
For us, and those are so funny.
It's funny.
Like I enjoy that when you can do the throwback pictures and surprising players time and time again. Anyway, I enjoyed it, but I do like watching the Kings. They lost. I think they have the potential to lose a lot of close games again.
They lost close to the Timberwolves.
To the Timberwolves, yeah. Anthony Edwards had a huge game. He had 32 points, took 24 shots, 5 of 15 from the three-point line.
He did what now?
He had a huge
He had 32 points on 24 shots?
Yeah. Yeah. But he took 15 threes. 'Tis the season of taking all the threes.
How many
it's
did
okay.
he make?
It's okay. He made 5. It's okay.
He made a third.
I was gonna say Julius Randle had a nice bounce back
Okay,
game
go
from
ahead.
there.
What
He
did
had
he do?
33 points.
On how many shots? 50?
No, 7. He was very efficient, 13 to 17.
That's a good
Please,
game.
That's a good game.
That's a good game by Julius Randle.
That's a good game. It was a good bounce back for the Timberwolves
That's a
after
great
losing
game for
on
Julius
opening
Randle.
night. And then you have been higher on the Nuggets this season than I am.
Yeah.
The Nuggets in their first game showed exactly why I am concerned and not putting the Denver Nuggets in my top 4 in the Western Conference this year, because outside of their starting 5 and outside, honestly, of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., who can make a 3 on that team? Who can shoot on that team? Like Nikola Jokic said it after their loss last night. They lose 102-87 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder, it will always just me a little bit when they do their full group interviews, because the Grizzlies did it first, but now the Thunder get to do it, and the Thunder were still really good last year, and they're projected to be really good this year, and so nobody says anything about it. They just let them do it, and they bark, and it just bugs me, CJ, and we're already, you're not a dog, you're weather. You're the weather, okay? You're the Thunder. You chose weather.
You're a weather?
You're a weather. You're not a dog, you're a weather. You're the Thunder, I'm sorry.
What's their mascot? Is their mascot a dog?
No, it's the Thunder.
I mean, like
I know, like a physical mascot. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, but it just makes me mad.
I got you.
Just makes me a little mad. But the Nuggets have no bench. Like
well,
none. We're going to see KCP here tomorrow night with the Orlando Magic.
Think about
sure
that.
feels like they could use him.
Think about that championship that they won, and all of the really good players they had coming off of the bench. They had to let all those dudes go because the apron penalties.
I know.
This is by design, man. It is. So, all right, you got to pay Jamal Murray? Fine. You got to pay Nikola? Fine. Michael Porter Jr.? Sure. Who
KCP,
else?
bye-bye.
Yeah, we can't. KCP, who was a little short, bald menace for them, running around out there. Played for the Pacers last year. Why am I blanking on my man's name?
Too.
Brown. It's Brown.
I know. What's his first name?
I don't. Just call him Brown. I don't know. But he's gone.
Bruce.
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown.
There we go.
Thank you. My brain was going because they still have Brown,
the white
Christian Brown, white Brown.
They have white Brown and Brown.
I will say one of my favorite things, speaking of white basketball players, has been listening to a variety of like NBA-related podcasts and radio hits and whatnot, who watched parts of the Grizzlies game against, oh my God, their season opener that they just played.
Come on, you got it. You
No.
got it. No, don't look it up.
No,
No, don't you look it up.
broken. I
Don't
can't
look
do
it up.
it.
Stop
It's been
clicking.
too much.
Stop clicking. Who they played? Who
The
Grizzlies
Jazz,
played
the
game
Utah
one? There we
Jazz.
go.
Thank you.
There we go.
God, it's been a long week. And everyone was like, who's that random white guy on Memphis? And they're all talking about Jay Huff. So them, like you, did not listen to the rest of us who have been trying to preach the sweet gospel of Jay Huff.
Nobody mentioned
throughout
Jay Huff.
the preseason,
Nobody mentioned
throughout
Jay Huff.
Summer League.
Talk about
It's been
Vince
mentioned
being
multiple
out,
times.
Talked about
My
Gigi,
God.
talked about the excitement for Edie, talked about what's my man's name who got confident during the open practice.
Jalen Wells?
Talked about Jalen
You
Wells.
know Jalen Wells played the second most minutes of all rookies through the first game. One game. Jalen Wells.
So y'all told me
second
about
most
him.
minutes.
Y'all told me about the improvement of Jake LaRavia, who, okay.
Told you about Jay Huff multiple times. It's fine. It's fine. You don't
nobody
listen. It's
mentioned
okay.
Jay Huff.
It's okay. You don't listen. You
And
don't
it's
care
not-
about the preseason.
not
It's fine.
just
It's
you.
fine.
Not just you. Mike didn't mention Jay Huff either.
I think Mike absolutely mentioned Jay Huff. I think sitting around in the Grind City Media lounge.
Nobody came up to me and said, "Hey, CJ, what's your take on Jay Huff?" Nobody said that.
I don't know about that. I
Snuck
think
up on me.
there's been plenty of talk at that point. There was a football game last night between the Rams and the Vikings, and many sports shows will start very angry this morning, saying, "How did you miss that face mask?" Because it was a really bad call. Like, it was an obvious face mask hold on Sam Darnold in the end zone. This is the play. Kirk Herbstreit in real time said they cannot review that, but he definitely gets the face mask of Sam Darnold. And if you have eyeballs, you saw that they definitely got the face mask of Sam Darnold. If you look at the still images, they definitely got the face mask of Sam Darnold. I just don't understand how it's 2024 and we can't review that play. Like, you can't get that right in the moment. Like, it's within the last 2 minutes. I'm not even gonna go as far as saying like it's a game-changing call, because the Vikings are still down 8 at that point. You're going to have to go the length of the field to score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion. At best, that's sending it to overtime. Like, you still haven't won the game. But it's just a horrific call, and it's a bad look that you can't make that change. It's a player safety issue. It's late in the game. It could be a deciding play. And the fact that we even have to talk about it not getting called is dumb. Look how mad he is. He's like,
This will be changed, I would assume.
I hope quickly.
And yeah, quickly. We just got the ability to change pass interference calls, didn't we? Like that.
Yeah.
That had to happen in a conference championship game. That egregious call in the Rams-Saints game had to happen there for the NFL to step in and say, okay, some of these penalties we got to be able to allow. Like somebody to step in here and say, no, that's not a penalty, or that is a penalty. And you don't have to throw a challenge flag. It's the only damn game on TV, first off. Second off, you're the effing NFL. You've got this big ass review studio. You could have somebody watching the game, and when this happens, just step in there and hop in the ref's ear and say, hey, that was a face mask, throw the flag.
Wow, we fixed
call
it.
the face
That's
mask.
so easy.
There you go. It's easy to do. So the ref initially calls safety. You hop in the ear. Ref stops the clock. It says, hold up. It's in my ear. That's not a safety. It's a face mask. Call the penalty and move the ball.
And we all move forward, and everything is fine. And we keep on keeping on.
It doesn't have to take a whole lot of time either. That right there is like a 30-second thing. It's so obvious.
Emphasis on it does not have to take a lot of time.
That's my only issue with the...
Me too, with replays, reviews.
Get it right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We don't have to take a commercial every single time.
Well, no,
Make it
need
snappy.
a commercial break.
Keep it up. The Rams are now 3-4. Vikings have lost 2 in a row. For the Rams last night, suddenly their trajectory looks much better considering they got Cooper Kupp back, they got Puka Nacua back. They still are down quite a few offensive linemen, but Matthew Stafford was able to be efficient and keep that Vikings defense on its toes. The Vikings still a good football team, CJ? Like, how are we describing
It's a short... We
the
should,
Vikings now? It's Thursday night football.
Congress should step the hell in here and say, hey, no, we can't be doing Thursday night football.
Sold.
Or
Congress. What are you doing?
Whichever presidential candidate supports this is the one I'm voting for.
Wow,
or
it's so
they
simple.
say, hey, you know what? If you got a Thursday night game, you get a bye week going into that game.
Yeah.
Like, you get a bye week before
You're coming
going
off
into,
a
you're coming
bye
off the
week
bye
if you
going
are
into
playing
a Thursday
Thursday.
night football game.
Yeah.
Just do it that way, because that's what I think this is. I think this is more of the Vikings played, and don't get me wrong, Rams played a tough football game last week also, but the Vikings played a really tough, really hard fought, really emotional game against the Detroit Lions, a division rival and a really good team in the NFC right now. And you could argue the best team in the NFC right now if you wanted to. And they turn around after Sunday, and they only got 3 days to get ready for this, to get the game plan, and to get their bodies ready for another football game. I still think they're good.
I will say, the struggles that they had with Matthew Stafford, that is the kind of quarterback that you are going to have to face if you are making a deep run into the playoffs. And Brian Flores and the Vikings defense have been really great this season thus far. So figuring out how to adjust to that. They still have the best wide receiver in college football, that Justin Jefferson catch that did I say college football? They're also the best wide receiver in college football.
I'm not sure.
Who are you taking over Justin Jefferson?
T-Mac.
Oh, that catch from Justin Jefferson last night was insane. My only thing is Sam Darnold, and I hung on dearly for sweet, sweet life on the Sam Darnold is better than everyone's giving him credit for. But Sam Darnold was blitzed 12 times last night. He can't move in the pocket. Like, he can't move. It is tough to watch because you are counting like one Mississippi. You don't even have to put the Mississippi. It's 1, 2, 3, and down goes Sam Darnold. And it's frustrating.
I feel like because Jefferson is such a good receiver at times, you're calling plays with routes designed to get him downfield.
On like a go route, yeah.
So in that case, why not use Jordan Addison a bit more?
Thanks. I was asking that all night last night. What a great question.
I thought you must have him in fantasy.
Yeah. Why aren't you throwing Jordan Addison somewhere? Anyway, we have lots to get into as it pertains to the Memphis Grizzlies, who play the Rockets tonight. Lang Whitaker is going to join us in the next segment. We'll talk about tonight's game against the Rockets, tomorrow's home opener against the Magic with Lang after a quick break.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges, and you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy.
That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back. It is Friday. It is a Grizzlies game day. It's our first Friday Grizzlies game day with Lang Whitaker of this season. He's got his Crocs on. They're not, are they in sport mode? Nah.
Are they in sport mode?
Never sport mode, only casual mode. Why do you have a payday?
Why not?
I need to know why you have
It's a Friday. Why else?
Why else?
Friday's a payday.
No, we did not get paid today. Don't get excited.
I did. I got a
Chris
payday.
got paid this morning, and I was really jealous. Okay. That's one candy bar
It's the best
that I
candy
just
bar.
don't mess with. You think it's the best candy bar?
It is.
It's just peanuts.
And it's got caramel. It's got this
caramel.
layer of like caramel inside
But if
it.
you're gonna have peanuts, like why wouldn't you have a Baby Ruth? And then you get nougat.
Nobody likes nougat.
Who doesn't like nougat?
Me, I don't like nougat.
Why not? What do you have
Nougat
against
sucks.
nougat?
It's terrible. It's like, what is
No.
it? What is it?
I don't know. It's provocative.
Like
It
you
gets the
said,
people
I don't
going.
know. That's
I can't believe you
it.
guys
Key
are
right there.
talking about
Nobody
these-
knows what nougat is.
The second tier daggum.
Yeah, they're both
candy
second
bars.
tier. Well,
Second
I would
tier.
put payday in like third tier.
Second
If you got a payday on Halloween, are you excited?
I am.
I mean, you are, obviously. You brought a payday in here.
The one you're excited about, everybody knows, is Snickers.
No.
It's
Duh.
got the payday, plus it's got the caramel, and it's got the chocolate,
But it's also got the nougat in there, too, or whatever that is. I don't know.
A Snickers is...
Who invented the word nougat?
If a Baby Ruth and a payday bar made sweet, sweet love and birthed the baby, that's what a Snickers is.
What scientist invented the word nougat? They were like, we invented this crap. This crap.
Nougat is a confection
Kenny
made
Nougat
from
came-
sugar or honey, egg whites, and sometimes nuts and candied fruit. I don't know why it is called nougat.
'Cause
There is
Dr.
on
Nougat
Google
made
it
it.
comes up, what the heck is nougat? But I like we're house sitting and they have a giant bowl of Halloween candy, which
Yeah.
is so dangerous. And I got really excited about a Milky Way, and Chris was like, "Why are you excited about a Milky
If
Way?"
you're not putting nuts in my damn candy bar, I don't want it. My candy
I
bar
like
needs
chocolate.
nuts.
I mean,
Mine needs chocolate.
My favorite candy, it's not a candy bar, the Reese's Pieces or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, any of the Reese's family.
They had Reese's.
Like, I think that Reese's are candy bars.
Are they?
I think so.
A Reese's
I
Peanut Butter
consider
Cup?
them.
Yeah,
I
I think
consider
so.
the cup a
Round.
bar. I know.
That's a
It makes
circle.
no sense. Don't ask questions. It's
That's
one
my
of those things
favorite
about
thing.
the American
I
language.
love the Reese's,
Yeah.
the chocolate peanut butter
Anything with peanut
combinations.
butter
Awesome, yeah.
is fantastic.
Like a payday has peanut butter, just pre butter.
I feel like my day is full of peanut butter. I was watching SportsCenter this morning, and did you see that Athletic article that came out yesterday about uncrustables?
Yeah.
That like nobody eats more uncrustables than the NFL, and as it pertains to who eats the most uncrustables, the Denver Broncos have over 700 a week. The Jags come in about 315, and the league as a whole eats $80,000 $80,000 uncrustables a year. And then they were trying, the SportsCenter anchor had never had an uncrustable before, and I was like, who hasn't had an uncrustable? And then I remembered CJ.
It's just for people too lazy to make their own peanut butter
I'm a
and
grown
jelly.
ass man. I can make my
Okay.
own peanut
Yeah,
butter
me too.
jelly. What are we talking about here?
Although one of the guys I play golf with every weekend
Brings an Uncrustable?
Like halfway through the round, it pulls out an Uncrustable and has it.
I'm not saying that I'm out here eating them all the time, but if there is an uncrustable available, like I love an uncrustable.
And honestly, the reason I have this payday with me today is I'm going to play golf in about an hour and a
And
half.
you're taking that?
I'm taking it with me because I know like I'm not going to have lunch until
Breakfast
late.
of champions.
No, I've already had breakfast.
Okay,
but
good.
this is like for 11:30 when you start getting a little tired about the 8th hole, 9th hole, you need a little sugar rush.
Yeah.
Get some
Are you playing-
peanuts,
are
get a
you
little
playing a
caramel.
full 18?
Yeah.
Okay, turn up.
Happy Friday. Devin said that the Grizzlies eat Uncrustables too. Everybody eats Uncrustables.
Yeah.
They have Uncrustables now that they make with like Nutella, like the hazelnut filling. Those are amazing. I like the ones with honey because I was never a huge jelly fan
Yeah.
growing up. So peanut butter and jelly wasn't
My son's
wasn't
not
my
a-
jam.
My son's not a big jelly fan either.
I've grown into where I can eat it. Like if you gave me a strawberry Uncrustable, I prefer the grape jelly
Now,
if we're gonna do that.
Instead of peanut butter, what I like to have in the morning is have you had the sunflower butter? Yeah. And they take sunflower seeds and make
Oh,
it into like
yeah.
peanut butter, but they have like crunchy sunflower butter.
And there's sunflower seeds
It's
in
just
it.
it's incredible.
That
It's just
sounds
whole
excellent.
sunflower seeds in there.
I love that because I'm not really an almond butter fan.
Yeah.
Like I used to have
Try
it
the
to try to be
sunflower butter.
healthier
But
because it
get
has
the
less
get
sugar.
the chunky kind. We spent about 10 minutes
Okay.
talking about this. It's
I know,
amazing.
it's fine. There's a Grizzlies game tonight. Okay, wait, one more.
Where do you get
this
your
is-
nut? Where do you get
Kroger
your nut?
has it.
Nut butters?
Yeah.
Kroger has them.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're one last note on the nut butters, I do love when you're at a grocery store and you can like churn your own nut butter.
Wait, where
like
can
they
you
have the
churn
machine.
nut butter
Kroger.
Fresh Market does
Yes,
it too.
Kroger,
Yeah.
Fresh Market, Whole Foods. Like most grocery stores now have a like organic
A grinder.
grinder for your nuts.
So we're grinding these nuts into butter?
Yes.
Let's go. If only there was an app. We call
CJ,
it
they all
grinder.
have a grinder for your nuts.
They do?
That's what Jessica said. You can grind
It's a
your own
nut
nuts
grinder.
at all these places.
I don't know why people don't know this.
Is that what the grinder app is about?
No, get out of here. We've talked enough about grinding of the nuts. We must talk about the Memphis Grizzlies who continue their season tonight first against the Rockets. I'm so bummed that Steven Adams
Good
is out of
grind.
this game. Okay, I have two takes on it. I'm sad because I would have loved to have seen Steven Adams, and I want him to play basketball again, right? The Rockets really want him to play basketball, and I wanted to see Ja maybe try to dunk on Steven Adams. It would have been a cool sub-story within the game. I'm kind of happy for Zach Edey that he doesn't have to get sunned by Steven Adams in potentially his second game of his career.
I am too. Steven Adams also would have gotten 1,000 rebounds probably against this Grizzlies team, the way that they rebounded against the Jazz. I was thinking about that this morning. Like they got out rebounded by the Jazz, but part of that is probably because Zach Edey played 15 minutes, and fouled out. So hopefully the guy who gets you a lot of rebounds can stay on the floor a little bit longer tonight against the Rockets. Şengün had like 18 rebounds or something in their first game. They lost, but he had a big game for them too. I think when you're playing the Rockets, the hope is that all those other guys shoot them out of the game, because that's what happened against the Hornets.
Yeah, because Şengün was 10 and 22 from the field, 25 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, 4 steals. He's really good. Like, from the Rockets standpoint, I'm excited for this back-to-back series for the Grizzlies because it features 2 teams that, outside of the Grizzlies, I'm genuinely curious about going into the year. And as it pertains to the Rockets, they just have so many guys. And their fans very much are kind of like factioned into 2 camps. Like, this is Alperen Şengün's team, or this is Jalen Green's team, instead of the kumbaya nature of, like, can't they be a good
Jalen
two-man?
Green seemed to think it was his team in the opening night and went 5 for 15. And if you look at their bench, was really bad too.
He's 9 and 23 from the field.
Yeah, 5 for 15 on threes. Yeah, Amen Thompson was like minus 19 in 20 minutes off the bench.
And he's like such an athlete.
Yeah.
Like, when you look
they got
down,
nothing out from
Jabari
their
Smith
bench.
is really
Jabari
good.
Smith and Dylan Brooks both didn't do anything in that first game. So I think let Şengün cook, stop everyone else seems to be the way the teams are approaching. They shot a ton of threes too, like as many as the Grizzlies did.
43.
So, yeah,
Get ready.
So it's going to be I think there's going to be a ton of 3-pointers going up tonight.
Do you think at this point, Dylan Brooks, this is the first time, we kind of have to do a feels like the first time, because last season was such an anomaly for the Grizzlies, and like Ja hasn't played against Dylan Brooks, so that will be a first that we see tonight. Like, from a Dylan perspective, how does he wake up this morning? Is he like,
I think Dylan wakes
I'm
up
here to face the Grizzlies, but I think he does that with
every
every single
day.
team.
Yeah, he's
right.
done that for 10 years. No matter who he's playing, he wakes up fired up and ready to go, and he'll be fired up to play the Grizzlies, I think.
A little extra. Will he give us any
Probably not.
any Dylan bites?
I don't know. Maybe somebody can provoke him from the Grizzlies, and
I think that's a good strategy. Is get him mad and get an early. I don't think he had a tech in the first game, so maybe you're the person who pushes him into the first of the season.
I think you want to get but if anybody, you want to get like Jalen Green going and just be like, hey man, like,
keep shooting.
Yeah, why don't you shoot the ball more? This feels like this should be your team.
This is the green light.
That's the way I would talk to him on the court.
And go for it. From the Grizzlies opening night, this is our first time catching up on here. They get the win, which is exciting. Just to win on opening night is a good thing. You go 1-0. You go into Utah, which sure, the Jazz are not going to be a team that's pushing for a playoff spot. They have been very clear. It's a player development like year, but especially considering how the Grizzlies had struggled against the Jazz in recent memory, especially early in the season. Like, nice to get a win against that team where at the end of the year you're like, oh yay. It just felt good to watch a Grizzlies. Like, I felt like I was more apt to overlook some of the maybe sketchier things from game 1, just because I missed the excitement that you feel watching winning Grizzlies basketball.
And it's still not the whole Grizzlies.
Players. Yes.
Yeah, it's still like we're still a couple guys away from having. That was my takeaway. It was like we looked really good. We played 11 guys. Taylor Jenkins was trying really hard not to overplay anybody because we have so many games here to start the season off. But all that being said, like, we're still a couple players away from having the full complement of guys. So having what we had, I thought we looked great. Yes, there's some things offensively you could clean up. There was some turnovers, especially in that first quarter. The fouls were brutal the whole game for both teams. But that was across the NBA.
Desmond Bane not really getting going until the second half.
Yeah. Ja didn't really get going until the second half either. Santi carried us in that first half. So, other guys stepped up. Everybody played their part. And it was fun to watch. Jay Huff had a huge game. Like, they're...
I forgot. Lang, you were here also. Why didn't you tell me about this Jay Huff fella during
He probably did. I can't definitively say that he
Jessica
did.
hasn't mentioned him, I know.
And not once. Never.
I'm
just
on
evaporated.
everybody. I'm on all of you. I can't wait for Mike to come on Tuesday.
I will say, not being a doctor, not me, and unless I'm watching somebody blow their Achilles out, then I'm sitting from the couch and I am a doctor and I say, you did it. And sorry, James Wiseman, thoughts and prayers as you start your Achilles warrior journey. But despite not being a doctor, I do know how to fluently read Grizzlies injury reports. I feel like last season was a great advanced lesson in how to figure out what they mean by designations.
Yeah.
And I was very excited to see Jaren Jackson Jr. upgraded from the out category to the doubtful category, which we know, based on last year, one step away from being on the court.
Well, questionable.
That's true.
Yeah.
So maybe by tonight, it shifts to questionable. Or tomorrow it shifts to questionable, and then he ultimately, I hope, fingers crossed,
tests it before the game and then
ends up playing, and we watch it going in, and as we are doing the warm-up, the new Grind City Media pregame show.
Speaking of before the game tomorrow night, we should say tomorrow night we debut our new pregame show, the warm-up show, live on the court. Myself, Michael Wallace, you're going to be involved every show. We'll have everyone coming in and out from the Grind City Media universe and just the Grizzlies universe. All the people who cover the team, people who are around, all that stuff. It'll be live on pretty much everywhere you would want to watch something. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on the app, everything. An hour before tip-off, up until half an hour, and then we'll kick it over to FanDuel for Grizzlies Live with Fish and all them. So
for everybody in the chat asking, are you guys doing a special Saturday show for the Grizzlies home opener?
Yes.
Technically, yes. It's called the warm-up, and you can see it every home game on Grind City Media. There is just something different about the home opener, and especially coming off of last year, like the energy. I'm very jazzed. I don't want to say jazzed. We just beat the Jazz. I'm very just amped to get in front of
Fosse.
But I'm just excited to see this team play a game. And another team in the Orlando Magic who could sneakily be
the Magic are pretty.
I watched
their opener against the Heat.
Paulo went off.
And it was Pat Riley court dedication night, so they had all the Heat legends there and everything, and the Magic kind of spoiled it for the Heat, and they looked pretty good. I still think they're like a year or two away from being the contender team. You know, they're so young. They have so many young guys on the team, but Suggs is a great defender.
They're so deep.
Yeah, they have a lot of good. Then the Wagners are running around out there causing havoc. And also, this has nothing to do with basketball, but it just came to mind because I mentioned Fish and you mentioned doctors.
Yeah.
Fish loves network television shows.
Okay.
I don't really watch a lot of network shows.
I've given up on a lot of network shows.
Have you seen the show? I've seen the promos. It seems hilarious, and it's not supposed to be. Dr. Odyssey.
Is that the one on the boat?
Yes.
Yes, and
Pacey.
Chris and I make fun of it. It's
Pacey
another
from Dawson's Creek.
And it's another Ryan Murphy show.
It's like the Love Boat, but he's the doctor on the boat.
Yes.
And the captain of the boat's Don Johnson.
Yes.
And then Pacey's the doctor of the boat.
Mm-hmm. And Philippa Sue is in it, who was in the original cast of Hamilton. If you know, you know. But the synopsis is Max is the new onboard doctor for a luxury cruise ship where the small but mighty medical team navigate unique medical crises and each other miles from shore. Like,
is it supposed
how
to be
many medical shows can we have in this world?
On a boat.
I can't wait for the one in space.
Isn't there?
Like Rocket Med.
What's the show on Bravo about the boat, the yacht, the
I know what you're talking about.
There's
yes,
some show
I don't watch
like,
it enough where I can tell you the name of it.
I assume it's supposed to kind of play off that audience too, like people who like watching shows about boating and yachts and luxury.
Below Deck.
Below Deck.
Which it follows like the crew of a luxury yacht.
Luxury yacht. So I think it must be like sort of tying into that times the Love Boat times, a soap opera basically. But I think that show's hilarious. I haven't watched it.
We don't talk enough about how many shows Ryan Murphy has on air at any given moment. He has the Aaron Hernandez show. He has the Menendez.
That's not a show, right?
Yes, it is. It's a limited series,
yeah.
but it's a show. If it's not a movie and it's being played on TV, I consider a limited series show adjacent. He has the Menendez brothers one, which now, the Menendez brothers, we talked about it earlier this week, like it looks like they're going to have their sentencing decided potentially.
Well, I actually read the news story about that yesterday, and the DA in Los Angeles, they were trying to, he said like the DA's office is kind of divided on it, and they're not sure if they should revisit it or not revisit it, but they're discussing it.
Interesting. They have Grotesquerie, which is the show that Travis Kelce, I don't watch it either, but Travis Kelce is on a television show done by Ryan Murphy. There's like new seasons of American Horror Story still in the works, and this Dr. Odyssey show.
It's like 5 shows.
That's a lot for one creator.
Didn't Shonda Rhimes have like 20 shows?
Yeah, I miss Shonda Rhimes. Bring
Tyler
Shonda
Perry
Rhimes
has like
shows
100
back.
shows on at the same
that's
time.
true. Shonda Rhimes ended up with Netflix.
I don't
not
know.
at the moment, but at a time he had.
He was at the
on.
Kamala rally last night.
I saw that. So was Samuel L. Jackson.
Was Medea
yesterday? CJ.
What did he say?
You said was Medea there?
Jay Huff was there.
Oh, he was. Thank you, Lang, for keeping me updated on Jay Huff, because nobody else here wants to do that. This man is out here hooping, and nobody's mentioned
awesome.
him all
Jay Huff's
off
great.
season.
What did you make of watching Ja Morant play basketball for the first time since last January?
It was like we didn't miss a beat. You know, it was just like there was one play where he drove the lane and he was gonna try and dunk on somebody. You could tell like he took that leap and he got fouled or something. The ball went out of bounds. It didn't happen. But there was that one play where it almost happened. my main thing was I wanted him to come in the game with more than 4 minutes left at the end of the game. I was like,
Everyone
put Ja
did.
back in. What are we doing?
I had multiple texts.
Yeah.
Why is Ja Morant not in the game?
Yeah.
I saw multiple tweets. Why is Ja Morant not in the game?
But here's the thing. Whenever something like that happens, I always think I'm thinking this. Taylor Jenkins has been coaching basketball a long time. There's a whole bunch of coaches on that bench who are smarter about basketball than I ever will be. Surely they've thought about this. There must be a reason for this.
Well, don't you think that the 6 games in 9 nights
Yes.
is playing into
Okay.
every single decision made
that
right now?
must be
I know.
right.
So I rationalized it.
Yeah, me
and then
too.
when he's in and he's not getting touches, I'm like, okay, I'm still trying to rationalize
Yeah.
it. But ultimately, it comes down to, do you need someone to make a play for you at the end of the game? And Ja Morant
He did.
can and does
Called
do
12.
that regularly. Call 12. We're going to get sick of saying it.
That
but
play
he
was awesome.
does
There
it
was
over and
the
over.
other play that was awesome to me was when Dez hit a 3.
It was the pass. It was
from the left
from the
wing.
corner.
Yeah.
And Ja was like the off balance
But he
overhead.
kind of pump faked and hit like
Yeah.
a fadeaway to the
Yep.
falling out of bounds. That was crazy. I was like, how does he even shoot that?
Exactly. And how do you make that decision to make that pass right there? I do feel that there's still an area of misunderstanding with Ja, or I guess maybe like we have short memories in this world, but in talking about players who are truly like pass first, or those who make all of their teammates better and who are constantly looking to others to score.
Yeah.
And it's not always, because sometimes you want the call 12 moment and you want Ja
Yeah.
to get to he's one of the best at getting to the rim, but he's also one of the best passers in the game. And when you're talking about a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Steph Curry still situates in that space sometimes, I think Ja is right up there. And I do think that he's misunderstood from a national perspective on that standpoint.
Yeah, he had 3 plays in a row at the end of the third quarter where he scored. It was like 3 layups in a row where he got in the paint and scored 3 times in a row. And those are the ones you're like, all right, 3 in a row, like 3 buckets in a row, 6 straight points. Like that kind of gets you going. That's, that's what you need. There were 2 thoughts I had. I tweeted both of them during the game the other night. One was that Ja, every coach I've ever had says, don't get up in the air without knowing what you're going to do with the ball. But that's what makes Ja so special is he gets up in the air, and I don't think he's pre-planned what he's going to do. He gets up in there, he either out-hangs
The
the
improvisation
defender.
levels
Well,
are great.
That's part of it, too. Like, so my son is trying out for his basketball team at school last week, and he said, one of my problems is I get the ball, and I don't know what move to put on to get to the basket. And I was like, don't have a move ready to go. You try to get to the basket and then use whatever is available with a move. And that's what Ja does. Like that last play of the game where he went behind his back, left to right, got up in the air, flipped it to his left hand and shot a layup. Like none of that was pre-planned. That he just took what was available to him. It's like jazz music, like, right? You're looking at what's out there. Oh, I can fit this in here. I can do this here. This works here. John makes those decisions on the fly, and I think it's that like speed of his processing that's so incredible. Like the way he's able to process all that in real time, and then pull it off. Like that's amazing. I showed it to my son in slow motion, and I was like, "Look, here's what I mean. You take what's available to you." And I showed him that play, and he goes, "I can't do that." And I was like, "Yeah, nobody can."
That's the point.
Thing. Yeah,
That's the point of it.
But-
no, I'm with you on that.
yeah. But Ja can, and we have Ja on our team, and it's awesome to watch.
And he makes everyone around him better. Like Santi Aldama has part of the game that he had because Ja Morant just makes things more open.
Watch how
he
often
makes
Santi
things go.
catches the ball here. Like his hands are here. He's waiting.
Yeah.
The ball comes, hits him right in the hands, and he's able to just shoot it without having to like catch, refocus,
Regather.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's Ja. He delivers the ball right in the pocket.
But
right
he
where
also
you're
gives
supposed
Ja
to.
another finisher. Like everybody
Sure.
loves a Ja lob, and Santi's reaction to that was just so fun. Like the oh my god moment from Santi, I thought was special, and that's it's a real positive for the Grizzlies. If you can get that from Santi Aldama and you get Jaren Jackson Jr. back. It creates more space for Zach Edey to learn without being a necessity early, which is the best thing you can get for a rookie. Like, no rookie has had a great game yet.
Yeah.
At the start of the NBA. Even we'll see Reed Shepherd tonight, who everyone was amped about. Suddenly he looks small and he's having trouble finding his shot. And Ime Udoka said it after their first game, like it's a mix of him needing to, learn how to read NBA defenses better, to set Reed Shepherd up. But these flaws come out early. It's the rookies who then, like 20 games in, the game starts to slow down and they're able to start figuring out their exact spot within whatever team they're in. That's what Zach Edey will need. But if he can do that against bench bigs early, is what I'm saying, that would be a better learning situation.
I wondered if Brandon Clark was going to start the opener and then Edey would come off the bench.
Yeah, I wondered
because he
that
would
too.
get to play against bench lineups.
And we saw that against the Pacers in the preseason.
and he was
like
great
he thrived.
in that. Excuse me. But I also thought like the way in that first game, the way they used Zach Edey, there was a little bit of like a force feeding there. Like, you know, I understand, hey, let's get it to the big guy. We need a bucket. Let's get it inside. Let's let him do something. But there's a little bit of like pressure with that, right? Like, it's like, hey, here, do something. And he's a rookie. Like, you know, let's put him in a position where he's setting a screen, rolling, catching on the run, and all he has to do is take one step and dunk it. Like we saw to start the game. Was that the Pacers game or the last game of the preseason where Ja hit him on the first play of the game? So there's plays like that, things they can do, I think, to make it a little easier on Zach Edey.
I agree. Do we get a Ja poster this weekend? Prediction.
Like a giveaway?
Yeah.
No, we get a hat.
We get a great bucket hat. I'm so mad. I left my bucket hat on the couch this morning, and it is an excellent bucket hat. Let me tell you.
Want me to go take
Do you have
somebody else's?
one? Did they put them on desks?
Yeah.
Oh, will you go grab one really fast? Because it's a great bucket hat. And I do want to show it off. We do have fun
I tried to get
opening night things.
BLJ to take it back from you yesterday. That was
Yeah,
great.
that was rude. I just wanted the
Jessica was so
the
mad.
bucket hat, okay? It's the Grizzlies Classic Edition reversible bucket hat, and the first 10,000 fans in attendance tomorrow will have the opportunity to get that. No, I meant a Ja poster. Like, do we see Ja
I hope so.
put
I wanted
someone on a
one.
poster?
I wanted one last night, or 2 nights ago, on Walker Kessler.
That
we
would've
didn't
been
get that. Maybe we'll get one on Şengün.
I would take one on Şengün, or I would take one on Wagner.
Either of the
Both of
Wagners.
those would be great. Maybe both.
Yeah.
A double
double
Wagner
Wagner.
poster. It sounds very German within that moment, but no, I think it'll be
We can't
it'll
go
be
to
a fun
commercial
time.
break because CJ's not
I know
here.
he's
Yeah.
out, but that's fine.
Here he is. Yeah. Airball.
I wish people could see the way that CJ just threw that hat.
tried to throw it like a
and it
frisbee.
had no give on it.
There we go.
It's a bucket hat. I love bucket hats. It's flip it and reverse it. I like the other hat, but this one's very loud if you prefer a louder pattern.
Yeah. That looks like a beach hat. You know.
It is a beach hat. It's always the beach.
That pattern.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It feels very tropical.
The other one's a little more formal.
You know me. I love a formal bucket hat. I'm gonna wear this with my formal wear to the next occasion
home
that
opener.
I have. But you're gonna have the Plaza party on Big River Steel Plaza. Starts at 5:30 tomorrow night. All sorts of things going on during the game. Performance by
There's a thing tonight
Quad
out
City
there.
DJs. There's one tonight
Yeah.
too. It's been Grizzlies week all week long, and I can't wait.
Let's do it.
And we have football at the same
I
time.
know. Georgia's off this weekend.
That's good for you.
That's good,
Who do the
yeah.
Falcons play?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Will you watch the
Without
World
their wide
Series? That's
receiver.
what I was going to ask you before we wrap up.
I'll probably watch some after the Grizzly game tonight because the Grizzly game starts, I think it's 7. Yeah, so I might flip over. I think the Dodgers are going to lose the World Series to the Yankees because they don't have the starting pitching that the Yankees have, or just pitching in general like the Yankees have. But it's like I'm not prioritized with it. Like if the Braves are in it, yes, I'd
Of
be
course.
locked in. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever.
I
There's
wonder
other
how
stuff.
many people are like my husband doesn't want to watch any of it.
Yeah.
He does not want to reward the riches of the Yankees and the Dodgers. And that's not to say like if it's a good game, we'll turn it on.
Yeah, but I get it. Rooting for those teams, it's like rooting for Microsoft or
Right.
something. Like it's like big corporations, you know?
He
like,
said it. I'm so close to being
Let's
like
root for
the
Sony.
most obnoxious of all fans.
Yeah.
Which isn't true because I'm not a Cowboys fan. Never was a Cowboys fan. Never will be a Cowboys fan. And I feel like they have to be added into that grouping. But being a USC football fan, and then when I was a kid, I was a massive Yankees fan.
Yeah.
And I don't care at this point in my life. Like it'd be cool to see. And my dad's still a Yankees fan. Like he's trying to figure out a way to get out there for one of the
the
games.
tickets are ridiculous.
Insane. Ticket prices are out of control in this country. And
Especially Los Angeles. Have
Especially
you seen
Los
that
Angeles.
$70 to park at the
Yes.
Intuit?
Yeah, we talked about
thing?
it
Yeah.
yesterday. Lots of, but I don't understand why you would go to the World Series game tonight in LA when you could just go to USC Rutgers. Like it's the same.
Don't the Clippers or Lakers play
Same
tonight?
energy.
One of them also plays tonight. Maybe both.
busy
They
night.
said tonight's going to be the worst traffic night in Los Angeles in like 2 years or something.
Lakers play the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that is a pretty bad.
It's going to be a brutal.
Yes, CJ.
Whenever y'all are finished.
You're good.
Are y'all finished
Yeah.
now? Lane.
Yeah.
Unfortunate death news.
Oh, yeah. Amir Abdur-Rahim.
Yes, that was
Shocking.
the saddest.
Yeah.
Coach of South Florida, 43 years old, was having according to reports, passed away from complications during a procedure. But you knew him
I met him when he was like 10 years old, 8 years old.
because he's from Georgia,
He's
right?
from Atlanta.
Yeah.
And his brother is Grizzlies legend Sharif Abdur-Rahim, but his brother Sharif was our manager of our high school basketball team when I was in high school. And so Sharif was about to be in high school, and so our coach kind of was like, quote unquote, recruiting Sharif to come play on our high school team because he knew Sharif was going to be a special high school player. So Sharif would come. His sister actually was in school with me, Amir Abdur-Rahim. She played on the girls team at our high school. So Sharif would get out of middle school and come to our high school every day and help out in practice and practice with us and stuff. And Amir would always be hanging around. And he was this little kid.
Yeah.
And then, Sharif and I have stayed in touch. Sharif's now the president of the G League for the NBA. But then Amir all of a sudden becomes an assistant coach and then goes to Kennesaw State and gets them into the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago.
His first season, they were 1-28.
Yeah,
and then
he
had
turned it
the
around.
First winning season in program history.
Mr. Positivity on Twitter, like he was awesome. And I actually never spoke to him in the last 5-6 years, but we tweeted back and forth a lot the last few years. And I was rooting for them hard. And then he gets the South Florida job, was coach of the year last year in the AAC, had a great season there. And then, just shocking news. Sharif posted about it this morning and said, what do you say?
He was the first Division I coach in their first year to ever take their team to a conference championship season, a program record for wins, a 15-game winning streak, and a program's first AP poll ranking.
Yeah.
And he did that last season at USF. It is one of those things like, what do you say? And so we'll close with you. Excited for tomorrow at FedEx Forum. But I did want to share, I remember my first introduction to him was after that Kennesaw State lost to Xavier in the NCAA tournament. They almost pulled off the upset. It was one of those thrilling moments of March. And he had just a really poignant moment in the post-game press conference. So I wanted to run that for anybody who maybe hasn't seen it, and some words from him that you can take with you for the rest of this Friday. And then we'll do our RAGGOWs on the other side.
Coach, this is Kelly from KSU. I'm standing on obviously a tough ending for KSU, but this is one of the greatest years in Kennesaw history. Is this the beginning of something huge for Kennesaw in the upcoming years?
That's a great question. And with all due respect, the beginning was 4 years ago. We're here today, man, because I'm in there talking to you, and I'm over here tripping. The beginning was 4 years ago, and these are tears of joy, man, because we made a commitment to this university. We made a commitment to these guys sitting next to me, man, that we were gonna show up every day for them. And when you get to a place like this, again, these are tears of joy, because it takes a special group of people to commit to something and stay to see that vision through. So the beginning was 4 years ago, but you better believe this is our standard, this is our expectation, and we'll be back.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's gonna be crazy. The fans are gonna be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the Forum rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cosnet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Hey, CJ, I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that Jay Huff plays basketball tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's on my radar now.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
I just didn't want you to miss it. He's
that
that big. He's that like 7-foot white guy who popped
can
up.
shoot.
Yeah, as
He just
Lee
emerged.
Evans in the chat said, looks like he could also be in Mumford & Sons.
He could.
Or Bon Iver.
He could. His hair would need to be a little bit longer for Mumford.
Yeah, but he's got the beard.
He does.
Like the beard is really all you need for that folksy.
He needs it flowing down the back.
He's too bald. You're right. He's too bald.
But no, the bald spot works. You just need it going down though, just a little bit. Yeah, Mumford & Son had a bald spot, didn't they?
Only one of Mumford & Sons has really long hair. They all have beards.
Okay.
But not long beards either. Didn't one of them get canceled?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Wasn't a very good cancellation if we didn't remember it.
Or does anyone ever really get canceled at all?
Well, now open the third eye then.
Oh my God. All right, it is time for us to do our games of the weekend in college football and the NFL. I do want to make a statement. I did not pick a certain game. I know CJ picked that game, and it goes very much against my brand that I did not pick that game, but I was confident that CJ would pick it. So it'll make sense when it makes sense. But I will start with my first game of the weekend, and it is a big battle in the SEC between LSU and Texas A&M. This is the game of the weekend. Number 8 LSU, number 14 Texas A&M. If you told me at the beginning of the season this was potentially going to be for the SEC, for first place in the SEC, I would have said you are absolutely crazy. But LSU 3-0 in SEC play, Texas A&M 4-0 in SEC play. CJ, I am curious your perspective. With both of these teams, do either of them definitively scream to you best team in the SEC, or is that still a designation for a team like Georgia coming off of their win over Texas? Would you put Texas and Georgia ahead of either of these two teams?
I'll answer your question, and then I'll give you my real answer.
Okay.
I would put both Georgia and Texas ahead of both of these teams just because of what they've done.
So would I.
Here recently. Now, the real answer is, it doesn't matter. You got to do it on the field. And Texas and Texas A&M will play last game of the season here. So we'll figure that out then. LSU, you beat Texas A&M, you've got a straight shot to the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how important a big a win this would be for LSU. There's no Alabama or Georgia there. You already played Ole Miss. You lost, but you won. Excuse me. You won. You beat Ole Miss. This is your last super tough game. Arkansas beat them also. There's nothing left for LSU to worry about after this. So
just got to go into College Station.
Just got to go in there. Now, there is a scenario where we get some one-loss shenanigans. So LSU loses to Texas A&M. Texas A&M remains undefeated in the SEC. Texas A&M loses to Texas, so that gives all three of them one loss. And then you throw one loss to Georgia in there as well.
Yes.
And add one loss, or throw in one loss to Georgia or Tennessee or Vanderbilt into that mix.
So let's go into the equally important SEC game of the week, because this was your first game.
And that's why it's my first game.
And that is why it is your first game.
Because we're looking ahead to SEC championship weekend. And Texas can't afford another loss. And Vanderbilt is still right there in the thick of things. Right there in the thick of it. So
ranked in the top 25.
Ranked in the top 25. They're a top 25 team playing at home. Like that, come on now. We're talking about something really, really special happening. How crazy would it be for Vanderbilt to get to a SEC championship game before Ole Miss? I would laugh until I cry.
It would be insane. Yeah. It is so unfortunate. If there was anything I could do, if I was a time traveler and could go back in time, I would have some way to make Vanderbilt make that kick to beat Missouri. So yes, even if you had your bozo loss to Georgia State, but you don't have a conference loss at this point in the season, it would be everything to me. Some people would change important things in history. I won't shut up about the book I'm reading about if you could go back and change the JFK assassination, 11/22/63. You should all read it with me by Stephen King. I would go back and simply make sure that the Vandy kicker made the kick, beat Missouri, and then we would be in a much different situation. Now, that said, I think Texas rebounds hard after their loss to Georgia last week.
Just pulled up LSU's schedule. I misspoke. There's no way that you're getting one loss Vanderbilt because they got to play LSU.
Okay.
So they got to play. LSU got Texas A&M this week, then Alabama, at Florida, home Vanderbilt, home Oklahoma. That's how they end their season. So maybe you don't end up with that, but you could still end up with 4 one-loss teams, I'm pretty sure, in the SEC when it's all said and done. And then who's getting left out? And then what does that mean from a playoff implication standpoint? Do all 4 of those teams get in?
It's also a matter of when we get into my next game of the week, it's all about the highest ranked champions too. The language of the college football playoff. And for whatever reason, I, for the longest time, was under the impression that the Power 4 conferences had somehow written it into the bylaws of the expanded playoff that it's the top 4 Power 4 ranked conference champions, but it's anyone. So if you are Boise State, hypothetically, currently ranked 17th in the AP poll, we don't have the first college football playoff rankings yet. I believe we get those after next week. Right? It's week 10 when we start doing the college football playoff rankings. But those are the ones that matter. Boise State plays UNLV tonight. You know I love me a Friday night actual meaningful college football game. And as it pertains to UNLV, after the whole quarterback thing, they're still really good. They're a one-loss team on the season. They've performed well. Their wide receiver, who's so good, this was a crazy stat that popped up in one of my college football newsletters. He leads the country in blocked punts. And he has more blocked punts than any FBS team.
Hey.
Isn't that bizarre for a receiver? So that's that Ricky White III, who's been tremendous for them this season as a wide receiver too. But this is a huge game for Boise State, and I continue to be on the trend where as long as Boise State does not lose another game, their very close game against Oregon, they outgained Oregon in that loss to Oregon, and Ashton Jeanty, that's kind of where he really popped onto the scene, and now very much looks like he will at least get an invite to New York for the Heisman ceremony. That will be the team of the non-power conferences to watch out for, from my perspective. And now I'm just curious how high they can climb in the rankings where they could make. What if you have an SEC? What if Vanderbilt did get to the SEC championship game, won it, and was ranked lower than Boise State? That is the world I am rooting for in this college football playoff.
There's no way in hell that would happen. The SEC champion and the Big Ten champion, those are going to be one
for sure.
It's
really the Big 12 that is the
Big 12
wobbliest of the group.
And depending on who comes out of the ACC, like if it's SMU or Pitt,
they could be further down.
They could be further down than Boise. And I learned that. It's just the four highest ranked teams, four highest ranked champions, who get the buys by playing college football on the EA Sports.
Yeah.
That I was like, wait. Boise State shouldn't be getting a bye over me. Hold on, how does this work? And then I had to go look it up. It was like, oh, okay.
My cousin's kid is in the band. I never know what to call your cousin's kids. Like, I just call them my cousins, but they're not my cousins. But I was always, because my parents were on the older side, like I am significantly younger than all of my cousins. And so I'm actually maybe closer in age to my cousin's kids in some regard. Anyway, he's at Boise State. He's in the band at Boise State. And he was messaging back and forth with my dad, and he's the one who pointed it out. And so shout out to Cameron for keeping us honest about what that could look like, but that's what they're playing for. And you're right, like if you have a Pitt who ends up, right now Pitt's ranked 19th. And I guess hypothetically, they still have SMU and Clemson on their schedule. So those are two top 25.
That Clemson win maybe gets them some respect.
I mean, even the SMU Pitt game will eliminate one of them.
Yes.
So you're operating that way. But this is where things get, anyone who said that the college football playoff in its expanded edition was going to be boring and not as meaningful, I don't understand your brains, because I love this side of it. I love the wacky and wild things that could still happen that make other teams or bigger conferences really, really angry. But Boise State has to get past UNLV tonight, and I don't think that's a gimme for Boise State either. So I'm excited. What was your second game?
National implications as well. Think about all of these games we've named have legitimate national title implications, and that would not have been the case in years past, because there's no way in hell undefeated Navy would even be able to sniff a 14 playoff. God forbid it's a BCS type situation. They're not getting near that. And Notre Dame, after taking that bad loss at home to Northern Illinois, they're still right there in the thick of it. And this is Notre Dame versus Navy. It's a big-time rivalry, and it's a chance. There's Heisman Trophy implications as well when you think about the play of the Navy quarterback. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Blake Horvath.
You think about how well he's played this season and the jaw-dropping nature of some of his highlights and some of his stats on the season going into Notre Dame, and Notre Dame on the other side. Hey, you went out. You're one loss. Notre Dame is absolutely in. And now, where are they seated? I'm not sure. Would they be 5? Would they be 6 or 7? I'm not sure. But they would be in the 12-team playoff with one loss. Give me Notre Dame Navy.
This has big, well, it doesn't have actual AAC implications. You would still need Navy to lose to another American team to keep them out of the All-Service Academy AAC championship game between Navy and Army. That would then be replayed in the annual Army Navy game that then could potentially send one of those teams to the college football playoff. But it is big just from like a vibe standpoint for Navy football as they continue forward. They still have to play, in terms of American opponents, Rice, South Florida, Tulane, and East Carolina. I would predict them to run the field. But if you're Memphis, and Memphis plays Charlotte this week, and you can't risk having a letdown game against Charlotte, you had, high scoring, late game scenario against North Texas. You get the win. That's great. As of right now, the only team you have lost to is an undefeated Navy. But for Army's schedule, they still play conference opponents, North Texas and UTSA, because Air Force is a non-con game, Notre Dame's a non-con game, and then the Army-Navy game is not an AAC game, which is so, They really got some Army and Navy got good schedules this year in the American. But as we said going into this year, isn't every schedule a good schedule in the American?
As long as you're not playing Memphis Tulane or one of the service academies, yes.
Yeah, that's the way it works. Anyway, I'm excited for this weekend of college football games. College game day is going to the... You thought about putting Indiana just because watching Indiana? They're a fun team to watch,
They're
for one.
a fun team to watch. Indiana's not supposed to be this good. And I do believe there's some question about whether or not their quarterback is going to play. I think he's...
Really?
I think so.
I missed that.
I think there's question about whether or not the quarterback's going to play.
Well, that would be big for Washington because it'd be big for me, for the Jesse agenda, because next weekend I'm going to the USC UW game, and there is like zero riz with the USC UW game. Two middling Big Ten programs will face each other in Seattle next weekend. And if USC loses to Rutgers, they might be without their head coach, Lincoln Riley. I don't know. If they were to lose this game, that seat would be like flaming. The hottest of the seat warmers would be on for Lincoln Riley tonight. But for UW, still trying to figure things out under Jed Fish, this would be a massive win for them.
Curtis Rourke is out indefinitely.
Oh,
yeah,
that is big. Who's anything on their backup? I mean, I don't need you to be an expert in Indiana backup quarterback information.
I've got. Give me two.
Absolutely
give me
nothing.
a minute and a half, and I'll figure out what the backup is.
All right, well, let's do our NFL games in the meantime. I forget which one. Oh, I put this one first, and I would have taken it off, but I realized it too late because Jaden Daniels is most likely not playing for the Commanders. It might be official at this point after the rib injury that he sustained last week. I was excited to see a matchup between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. This one loses a bit of its luster without. The Commanders are still just a very good, complete football team, but I am way less excited to see Marcus Mariota versus Caleb Williams, although two former Pac-12 quarterbacks battling out on a Sunday afternoon. But I am curious with this Bears team, 4-2. We've talked so much about the NFC North. We just talked about the Vikings in the first segment, but between the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears, and the Packers, those are four high-performing football teams right now, and this would be a big win for Chicago. That one's a 325 game. Bears 3-point favorites.
All right, Jessica, I just remembered something about the Indiana backup.
Oh my God, tell me all about him.
It. His name is Taven Jackson. He's a state champion from Cinder Grove who started 5 of the 6 games he appeared in 2023. If I'm looking over here, it's not because I'm reading. It's because I just
you
like
know this. You're like, I feel
know.
that.
Indiana's going to look at, he came in relief in the game that Rourke got injured. He went 7 of 8 passing for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also...
Wait, you didn't tell me what Curtis Rourke's injury was.
Yeah, it's a thumb injury.
No, it's specifically labeled as a nail bed injury.
Yeah. Thumb injury. The thumb has a nail bed, Jessica. It's a thumb injury.
I know, but I think those are like the most like a sprained thumb, but those nail injuries are low-key one of the most uncomfortable injuries that you can go through.
And that's why
because he can't throw.
He can't throw, and that's just one of those things that's going to take time to heal. There's no real way for you to deal with that as a quarterback. Do you want to know more about Taven Jackson? On the season, he's 12 of 18 passing for 225 yards and 3 scores, and that Indiana offense is explosive. So they'll look to him to try and keep that thing going.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as the chat pointed out, Brandon specifically, I really just want to watch Caleb Williams on a Sunday. I haven't been able to watch enough straight Caleb Williams action in his NFL year. And since I've given up on the USC football team this season, the best I can do is support our former Heisman winner. Your first NFL game.
That was a good game to pick.
No, it's less. It lost its luster. It lost its pizzazz.
Why?
Because no Jaden Daniels.
Okay, yes. It's even with a little less pizzazz, it's still a really good game to pick. I will go with Bengals, Eagles. I like both of these teams. I think both of these teams are good. And maybe I just want to believe in Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles. Maybe I just want to believe in Burrow and Chase and the Bengals. But I think both of them are good. They'll be playing against one another, and let's find out which one is better. And it's not September. The Bengals in September may as well be the daggum Jaguars. They're horrible in September. We've seen them do this feel like twice, where that first month of the season is a throwaway month and they catch fire right about now. I want to see if this is when they continue to start streaking and leading themselves and setting themselves up better for not just a wild card push, but should some type of catastrophic injury happen to either the Ravens or the Steelers, they position themselves to legitimately contend and challenge for that division crown. And on the other side with the Eagles, like, who's good in that division?
The Commanders.
The Commanders.
Genuinely good.
I forgot the Commanders were over there.
I know.
I'm so used to thinking about the Giants and the Cowboys and just throwing the Commanders
Okay,
out
but
of
usually,
my memory.
to be absolutely fair, for the last however many years you want, the Commanders would be it's the NFC least, and now suddenly we have to readjust our expectations.
So to keep up with
the
them,
Washington football
to keep up
team.
with them, you gotta win.
I saw somebody say 2 things to thaw in late October, and it is Mariah Carey and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's time! The Eagles have never won in Cincinnati. I think that's a wild stat. Yes, they are 0-4-1 all time, and they have not won in their last 5 games against the Bengals.
They've only been to Cincinnati 5 times.
Isn't
That's
that crazy?
the issue.
Right, but still, they've never won.
I understand.
And they've lost their last 5 games to the Bengals, period. Not lost, have not won. They've tied twice. That's 2 out of 5 games have been ties between these teams.
This game is going to end in a tie.
Please don't give us another one. We haven't had a tie this season.
It's due.
It's time! You set me up. You set me up for that one. The Bengals are also wearing their icy whites. These are the stats that you must know. And in their icy whites, they are undefeated.
Is this a black-white game? Because the LSU Texas A&M game, we didn't talk about this.
It's a black-white game?
It's a black versus white game. Which side comes out on top?
It's a question.
So the Bengals
I don't know
and
if the
icy
Eagles
whites.
are wearing black jerseys.
Anytime somebody wears icy whites, I want
I
the
love
other
an
team
icy white.
to wear all black. I forget. I think LSU was in all whites and Texas A&M is in all black this weekend.
Okay. Thank you for that. Those are our RAGGOWs. 2 games in college football. 2 games. Oh, mine was also Eagles Bengals.
Oh, okay, yeah, then that's it.
Oh, wait, no, you have another one.
Do I? Oh,
yeah, I cut you off.
49ers
I'm so sorry.
Because, it's 2 premier football teams, both of them having the same sort of injury woes, and let's see which one bounces back.
Emphasis on the bounce back. There are many games, from a trade perspective, I'm excited for the Bills-Seahawks game. Both recipients of the Titans being sellers, with the Seahawks getting Ernest Jones, the linebacker, and that's a position that they really needed, the guy to stand out on the defensive side. And then for the Bills, all season, we were saying, God, Josh Allen really needs a number 1 receiver. And obviously that's not the Titans sellers one, but from the Amari Cooper of it all. And then I am excited to see what DeAndre Hopkins does. You are no longer a believer in 31-year-old DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's going to be exactly what the Chiefs need.
He did have a 1,000-yard season last year. I don't know, man.
But they don't need an explosive play guy. They have that. They need a high-volume, can Patrick Mahomes throw the ball and trust you to catch it guy? And I think DeAndre Hopkins is precisely that, because you don't have the same reliability that you once had. I'm not taking away. Travis Kelce can still do it at times, but he can't do it as consistently as he once did. And DeAndre Hopkins gives you a little bit more there. So I'm excited for Chiefs-Raiders. I hate watching the Raiders. I think they're one of the stinkiest teams to watch in the National Football League. We will take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do some Music Friday on our way out. Tons of new music to get into. Plus, we'll talk a little bit about GloRilla's album that CJ finally listened to. Could we be getting new Rhianna music?
Is it an album?
No.
Okay.
Is it anything? No. But there was a small tease, and I take every small tease and really run with it when it comes for that. We'll get into all that. New Halsey album, new Lady Gaga album, new Meg Thee Stallion album. Lots of stuff out to discuss when we come back.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bain 3, yes sir! Desmond Bain with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering.
To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
How much have you added weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Rookie,
like
you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
Oh,
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have actually hit the over on their win total for the season. Winning number 3. Their total was 2.5.
Hey, listen. If I had told you Vanderbilt was going to hit the over on their win total against Alabama,
Yeah.
you guys would have kicked me off the show.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I tried to argue that they were going to be bowl eligible.
I said that was good. And they still might not be.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back on this Memphis Grizzlies game day. Grizzlies Rockets tonight on the road. Grizzlies Magic tomorrow at FedEx Forum. Home opener. Be there. Be square. Get a bucket hat. Why would you not? Music Friday. Some things we are listening to going into the weekend. CJ finally listened to the new GloRilla album, Glorious, after I gently nudged him to. I thought you would love the album. And I'm a little disappointed that love is not the word being used.
It's a good album.
I love the album.
I love
GloRilla.
everything. I loved everything. I loved that. This is a good listen. It's an enjoyable listen. My complaint when listening to rappers right now is everything sounds the same. And speaking about just in general, about individual artists, their albums. That's all I'm talking about. Your whole album sounds the same. From the flow to the beat to the lyrics in your songs. And I will say one of the things that I found really enjoyable about this one is it's a good mix of various flows, various beats, various samples, and various
genres.
Subgenres. Subject.
Okay.
Not
subject.
genres. It's one genre. What genre?
Yeah, but
it's
you get,
rap.
I know, but different, I'm with you. So many, Meg's new album. The little bit that I listened to, it all sounds the same. And I'll give it another listen. I don't want to poo-poo it off the gate. That's why Music Friday is hard sometimes, because I'll listen to something once and I don't really love it, and then I'll come back on it and I enjoy it. But I like that it took me a little bit longer to go through the whole Glow album, Glorious, and listen to it in its totality, because you get the Kirk Franklin side of it. You get the song with T-Pain. There's different subgenres of rap within one rap album. For me.
I got you.
You know what does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does. I think that I'm still thinking of that T-Pain song as just rap. And then there's the one gospel song, harkening back to, I feel like DMX did this before, where it was, hey, there'll be a
one gospel song,
something or another in an album somewhere. I would say I would move. I got to look at the track list here, because I thought it was just an odd placement for the gospel song. I would have flip-flopped Rain Down on Me, which is a Kirk Franklin feature,
Yeah.
with the T-Pain song. So
Okay.
the T-Pain song would come right before GloRilla's Prayer, which is GloRilla talking about being in a relationship with somebody who's not doing right. And so I would flip-flop those songs and put the gospel song closer to the end of the album, because that T-Pain song is like the second to last song on the album, which is fine.
It's the third, because it goes the one with T-Pain and then Queen of Memphis with Friday,
All right.
which I enjoy, and then Never Fine with Kate
Yeah,
Carbone.
okay, so put it third to last then. That's what I would have done. But I think the so many times with, and GloRilla is a woman rapper, and when we get women rap, I'm only talking about women rappers now. When they get the rapping, it is, hey, I am a bad bitch. I'm the baddest bitch you ever seen. It is like, okay, great. What's the next track?
I am a bad bitch.
I'm still the bad bitch. You thought you forgot? All right, what's next? The baddest of the bad bitch, right? And so I enjoyed the fact that GloRilla talked about a relationship that she was in, or a relationship that she had been through. She talked about a relationship which, from as a dude who's been a fly on the wall in a room full of women talking about their relationships, I feel like this is a common theme. I love you. You're my friend. That bum you're dating, I hate him with every inch of my soul. And so she's got that type of song on there as well. Like, it's a good mixture of topics on the album, and it was a real enjoyable listen. I did like it. I didn't like it more than everything. I thought it was good, not great. Somebody's been working with her immediately. My thought, like 4 tracks in, is every time she drops an album, it is clear she has been working on flows.
I agree.
And every flow, every album she's dropped, the flow has been better, right? Even though I liked everything, the flows on this album are so much better. And the song with Megan, What I Look Like, oh, I love it dearly.
I almost am at the point with her, like, I don't, every album, not just rap, has so many features on it now. Like, that's just something that we do. I almost don't need features on a Glow album. I just want to listen to her. Even though the Meg one's great, the Sexy Red one, I can't stop singing all the time.
I can do
every
without.
day
I can do
for
without
the rest of my life.
Sexy Red, I can do without her.
I love that song though. But I think I would love that song with or without Sexy Red.
Yes.
Was actually my point on that. But
I feel like Sexy Red brings that song back.
okay, I am shocked that Randall in the chat says that the new Lady Gaga era is off to a wrong start, because I listened to her new single that dropped this morning, Disease, and I actually thought it was a very good lead single. Like, it's not the greatest song ever, but I thought it represented, so often we have these like really great pop artists who don't evolve and get trapped in their past selves, and then their past doesn't work as well. And I thought that this song had big, it felt very Fame Monster-y, which was the album that had Bad Romance, Monster, Alejandro,
Wait, is that
Telephone.
Gaga?
Yeah, that's Gaga. She's a shapeshifter. She always looks different.
All right.
In like everything.
Okay,
but I thought this song was good. I thought vocally, as she has aged as an artist, she's put more emphasis on letting people know, like, I can sing. Like, I can sing. This isn't just me being like pop earwormy. I have a voice, and so flexing those vocals a bit more. But I liked the song. I'll go back and listen to it again. But I thought this was much better than the thing that she did with Bruno.
She's in the way on the Bruno Mars song.
Yeah, I just don't like that song.
I love the song. She just needs to get out. That should just be Bruno's song. Lady Gaga shouldn't be on it. Just let Bruno bellow and blow to the best of his ability, and you just clear out.
Yeah.
All right. That doesn't need to be a 2-man song.
I listened to a bit of the new Halsey album, The Great Impersonator. I found the concept of this album really interesting, but I haven't really been connected to it. A lot of singles have dropped so far. Her whole thing was supposedly like, if I were to have dropped in every era before me, so like 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, she had like promo work of her trying to impersonate Britney Spears and Dolly Parton and Bruce Springsteen and Cher and Kate Bush. It's like a fine album. Nothing has leaped out, and I'm like, oh, I really love this Halsey album. A song that I listened to that I was shocked on this morning, there's a new Linkin Park album coming out.
Yeah.
From Zero, they released 3 singles to introduce it. It rocks. The 3 singles. Like, I can't speak for the album, but the first one that I listened to was Over Each Other. And this happens every time since Bennington, what was his first name? Chester Bennington died. they have their new singers. It doesn't sound exactly the same. Like when you listen to it at first, you're like, this isn't Linkin Park. And then you're like, oh, yes, this is Linkin Park. And their lead singer is like really, really good. Like her voice was fantastic on that track. And I enjoyed those 3 singles. They put me in a mood for a Friday where I was like, I'm going to take on the world. This is a good space to be in.
They dropped a song earlier. I think you were on vacation. It was me and Lang talking about it. So when did you go on vacation? Was that September? They had dropped 1 single. And so it was like, okay, when time comes from the album, I'm absolutely going to get it. I like her. It's not going to be Chester. It doesn't have to be Chester because nobody can be that.
Yeah.
He's one of one. Like that, you kind of got to accept that. But it's still Linkin Park, and she's a really good vocalist. The Scientology stuff notwithstanding.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
She was on the Danny Masterson stuff.
Is that the dude's name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh. Those songs rock a little less.
Let me say, I feel like some of the outrage, or not outrage, some of the, no, I guess it is outrage, the fan outrage from her being the lead vocalist is they're running to, oh, and she did this thing with Scientology also. And it's, yeah, you're trying to use that as your reasoning when that's not really the reason why. You just don't want to like her because she's not Chester, and you're just trying to find reasons to pile up on her to try and get them to pit her out.
Yeah. That's all. Oh, I listened to the new Tyler, the Creator song too. It's called Noid, short for paranoid. I liked it. It was a good listen at first. You don't really like him? Yeah, I understand that. But it was an okay listen. Anyway, lots of new music out to dive into over
Big X the Plug. He dropped
oh yeah, I saw that too.
I got to listen to Big X the Plug.
Was it good?
Oh, very good.
Okay.
We were downstairs talking, me and the directing team were downstairs talking about good rappers. And Big X the Plug was good current rappers. Big X the Plug was absolutely on that list. And then, oddly enough, regular Jacob was like, hey, what do you think about Mexican OT? I was like, who? Can you say that? He's like, yeah, that's his name. I was like, okay. And I went back and I started listening to him also. So I was like, oh no, I like this guy too.
I've never listened to him.
I think he's the Mexican OT. The OT stands for out of Texas, I think. And so, yeah, he's good.
Out of Texas. That would be it. Yeah. Hey, speaking of Texas, we're apparently getting a Beyonce performance tonight.
You're not.
Listen, I got the last time by the Democratic National Convention, DNC, where they tried to bait me into watching the last day of the DNC, which I'm a political nerd, so I would have been watching it anyway. But they told me Beyonce was going to perform, and then Beyonce never showed up. At one point, we thought we were getting a Beyonce and Taylor Swift concert at the same time. Remember that? I do. But now, many sources are reporting that Beyonce is going to perform at a Kamal Harris Houston rally tonight. Beyonce's from Houston. This would make a ton of sense. We are less than 2 weeks away from the election. I just want to listen to Beyonce.
She'll be performing.
What's she
going
gonna
to
sing?
At?
If she's at and not performing,
she's going to be
what
there.
are we doing?
She's not going to perform.
I think she's going to perform.
She's not performing.
I think she's going to perform.
I think you're insane if you think she's performing.
I think she's going to perform.
Did Eminem perform?
What song is she going to... Didn't he rap?
No.
Was it just Obama rapping Eminem lyrics?
Eminem lyrics.
He didn't perform. Stevie Wonder performed.
Okay.
He did a whole concert.
Okay.
He did like a benefit concert.
Yeah.
It was specifically a concert.
Yeah.
Beyonce's going to perform.
No, she's not.
Yeah, she is.
No, she's not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's going to perform the entirety of Cowboy Carter. And I'm going to watch every second of it. Speaking of things that probably will never happen that I will convince myself could happen, Beyonce made a comment about, not Beyonce.
Oh, wait. Before you get off of the politics of it all.
Oh, sure.
Can we talk about Gravy? Getting the people mobilized up in Wisconsin?
Young Gravy?
Young Gravy got the youth out to go vote early.
Okay,
That's
Young
cool.
Gravy.
Let's him right here in Big Red shirt.
I like Young Gravy.
Look at all the kids
You
going.
can never make me hate you, Young Gravy.
Young Gravy out here doing his civic duty.
That's kind of
There we
cool.
go. Yeah.
Is Young Gravy, like, what's his fame level?
I don't
Do the
know.
kids roll with, wow, that was the oldest words. Do
But
the
you are
kids
old.
rock with Young Gravy?
But you're old, yes. That's what old people ask.
Yeah, my lower back tells me that every day. Thanks.
It's tough for me to say. I don't know. Wasn't he? We saw him here at
Music Fest.
At the
I'm sorry, Riverbeat.
Riverbeat.
Sorry.
We saw him here at Riverbeat, and it was a decent amount of people. It was younger people and moms. That's his demo, man.
Yeah, the moms love Young Gravy.
That's who they should drop off in Pennsylvania. You want those suburban mom votes? Drop the Young Gravy ass off over there. He'll get those moms out there activated and voting.
Okay, some quick hitters. Rihanna was asked her dream collaboration, and she said Billie Eilish. So now everyone's running with, oh my God, could we get a Rihanna-Billie Eilish collaboration at some point? Billie Eilish was told this information, and she was like, oh my effing F. Like, did not know how to process, which is how I would and anyone would respond to Rihanna, who has not blessed us with new music in forever and a day outside of the Trolls movie. Was it the Trolls movie soundtrack? Well, she gave the one for Black Panther 2. And then I think there's going to be a song on the Trolls soundtrack, and that's all we get. Yeah. But now I can talk myself into she wants to work with Billie Eilish. She's speaking of people she wants to work with. That would imply that
she'll get one song with Billie Eilish.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay, but then we step into the other category. If I'm getting new Rihanna music,
you're getting one song.
If I'm getting a new Rihanna song,
one song.
I do not want sad girl Billie Eilish vibes. I love Billie Eilish. I think Birds of a Feather will be on my top 10 songs of the year.
Which one is that?
Birds of a feather, we will flock together. You don't watch the music performances of SNL.
Keep going.
I can't sing it.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that song.
All right.
It's very sweet.
That's a good song.
But I don't need Rihanna. I want classic pop princess Rihanna.
Okay.
But I'll take anything. I'm not being picky.
Sounds like you are.
Okay, last thing. I know Kyra's singing it in my ear much better than I sang it out loud.
I know that she's singing a different Rihanna song. She's singing Kiss It Better. We did a Rihanna draft, Kyra, a couple years back when Rihanna was headlining the Super Bowl, and I think I took that song number 1. And they got mad at me in this studio.
Yeah, it was a bad first pick.
No, it's
not. It's a good song, but it was a bad first pick.
It's a great song. It's her best song. It's either that or bitch better have my money. Like, I took them 1 or 2, Kyra, and they're like, CJ, you're not taking this seriously. See? Kyra rocks with me.
I don't remember what I picked.
Let's find it. We'll find it.
We'll bring it back.
Yeah.
Important music adjacent news that crossed my timeline, and I really wanted to make sure we noted on it. Helen Mirren was doing an interview with the Evening Standard, and for whatever reason, she was talking about Kurt Cobain and what he died or how he died before certain things came out. And she said, I always say it's so sad that Kurt Cobain died when he did because he never saw GPS. GPS is the most wonderful thing to watch. My little blue spot walking down the street. I just find it completely magical and unbelievable. Of all the things that Kurt Cobain has missed since he passed, it shocks me that Helen Mirren is most sad about GPS. Granted, I use GPS all day, every day. Sometimes I have to use GPS to get to work, and I live down the street. So shout out to the GPS, but she's always talking about Kurt Cobain. I remember she talked about him during an Oprah interview. Like, she thinks about him all. Helen Mirren? Who is Helen Mirren? Dame Helen Mirren?
Hold on. Kyra. Who's Helen Mirren?
Oh, my
God. Kyra, do you know? Oh, she's
the Queen,
actress.
Helen Mirren?
Okay. That's okay. What's she been?
She was just in the Barbie movie.
Oh, okay. Cool.
She's the narrator.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
She's
good for her. What's her relationship with Cobain?
I don't know.
Okay.
That was the question. She just always talks about him. She doesn't have a relation. Oh my God. Who is every week? Who is Helen Mirren?
I'm sorry, you never, much like Jay Huff, you never told me about Helen Mirren.
I must tell you about the greats.
You have to.
Jay Huff.
Yes.
Helen Mirren. What's the opposite of Dame? I always forget.
Duke?
Duke J. Huff.
Or is that Duchess?
Oh yeah, that's Duke and Duchess. Hold on, last thing. Opposite of Dame.
That's a good question. Or the male thing of Dame. I've never
I don't think
seen
there
Fast
is
and
one.
Furious,
It's just
Furious, Kyra.
Sir.
None of them. It's Sir. Yeah, so it's Sir and Dame.
Gotcha. No. Oh yeah, like Sir Elton John. Yeah. That makes sense. All right.
She's in the Red. Is she the woman from the Red franchise? Okay.
Is she?
I was wondering why everybody was excited for this woman to be on the screen.
Oh, there you go.
She was there with Morgan Freeman and the rest of those old dudes in that
She's
movie.
got gravitas. Yeah, she was. She was. Okay. It's Grizzlies game night. Everybody watch the Grizzlies. Everybody come see the Grizzlies tomorrow. We can't wait. As Lang said, we will have the new Grind City Media, the warm-up, debuting before tomorrow night's game. I can't wait to see all of you. I can't wait to be on Monday back here to talk about it all. We'll see you then. Bye.
People are mad about me not knowing who this lady is. How am I supposed to?
I mean, I feel like she's one of those, like, capital A actresses. Who you would, like, still know.